Let me be the first to welcome you to our event tonight. Welcome, benvindos, miquabo, bienvenue. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Sarah Politz. I'm Assistant Professor of Ethnomusicology at UF. I want to give you a little bit of background on the inspiration for the event tonight. I've been doing research in Benin for over 10 years, and I first met our collaborators tonight in 2007. Sam Nyolenfun and I played together at a jam session in Cotonou, the largest city in Benin. In 2013, I had the opportunity to invite them to join us with the jazz orchestra at Harvard University, and they are now residents of New York City. When I started working at UF, I decided it would be a really great opportunity to invite them to collaborate with the Brazilian ensemble, Jacaré Brazil, given Benin and Brazil's long-standing historical connections. And it would give us an opportunity to have a conversation as well as a musical collaboration about these connections. So that is what you will see tonight, is the output of this collaboration. We have reflected deeply on the nature of diaspora as a group. We have thought about its indeterminacy. We have thought about the connections that it produces, shared heritages, shared histories, as well as communications and miscommunications, how things can be interpreted and reinterpreted. And this is particularly visible to us in COVID times, especially because we're always communicating across distances. We're always using technology, and we're always trying to bridge that gap this year, which is actually perfect. The process has reflected much of our ideas about diaspora in this project. So I'll turn things over to Welson Tremura, my colleague, to tell you a little bit about the music you'll hear tonight.
Yes, thank you, Sarah, so much. I cannot tell you how much excited we are, the ensembles, the electric guitar ensemble and Jacaré Brazil, combining efforts and performing and working the repertoires with our friends from Benin. So this to us is really a true opportunity to explore their rhythms, their music, and incorporate that to the rhythm and music of Brazil. I really believe the diaspora and the music really connects people in a much more profound way. So this music you hear tonight is really a craftsmanship of techniques and styles coming together to create a new sound. And this sound, like I have the scores in front of me, there are lyrics, there are notes. So we learn music by many approaches. So this is a true effort to approach the music as a unity. I also want to say thank you to the Center for Latin American Studies, Center for African Studies, Center for Arts and Migration in the Diaspora, the College of the Arts. I want to say thank you to Dave and Heartwood SoundStage for providing this beautiful space for us to perform. And I bet you're going to have a great night. And stick around, because after the concert, we're going to have time for a discussion and the issue that Professor Sarah Politz just raised in the beginning of the conversation.
So we're going to send it back to our friends in Brooklyn so that Jomion and the Uklos can introduce themselves. Also, a big thank you to Nico Osborne for handling things on that end. So off to you, Jomion and the Uklos.
Have fun.
I'm Samuel Nyolenfun. I'm drummer. I'm trumpet player. I'm percussion player from Jomion and the Uklos. Thank you.
My name is Gigompa Mathieu Nyolenfun. I'm one of Jomion and Uklos members. As you can see, I'm a trumpet player. I'm a congas player, any kind of percussion. I'm a singer. I'm a dancer. So I'm so busy, that's why I didn't show you my performance in dance. Thank you.
My name is Wulengansoji Jean-E Nyolenfun, but you can call me JB. I have the longest name in this world, and I'm proud of it. I'm part of Jomion and the Uklos band. And by the way, Jomion and the Uklos band is a band of brothers. I'm a keyboard player. I sing. I also teach African drumming at Stony Brook University. And this is Jomion and the Uklos band. Yeah. Thank you.
Good evening. We're so excited to be here tonight to perform for you in this special night of this dialogue between Brazil and Benin. And we have prepared a great repertoire of guitar music, percussion, voices to celebrate this collaboration between those two wonderful countries. We're going to start performing a piece by the Brazilian composer Laurindo Almeida, Copacabana, which is a baião rhythm. And I hope you enjoy. And this will bring some memories and nostalgia for those thinking of the music of Brazil. As we continue our performance tonight, this ensemble, Alachua Guitar Ensemble, it's really a combination of a Jacaré Brazil faculty and graduate students. So we're always very excited to play diverse repertoires. We select a piece that we bring Aaron Culverson to play in the melody or the solo melody for a piece by the Brazilian composer Pixinguinha and Benedito Lacerda. The name of the choro is Elieu. In fact, it's a polka choro. So it's early music in Brazil that is being kind of modernized with the percussion and adding the guitar ensemble to create a more pleasant atmosphere.
Hey guys, the song that we're gonna perform is called Ai. And the story in this song is about, you being serious and be careful in your life, in your daily life. Just be serious about your life. The rhythm that is behind the song, we named it bossuhoho. It has a connection with bossa nova, which is from Brazil. So as a Brazilian, you will see the connection when we get into it, okay? Rhythmically speaking. So you ready to get that? Let's go. Hey guys, the song that we're gonna play now is called Agbokelele, and Agbokelele is just a term. I don't know what it means, but anyhow, there actually the story in this song is about unfaithfulness inside a marriage, and this is something that in our society we're fighting. So the song is teaching married couple to be faithful to each other. The rhythmic part, I would say the rhythm that is behind it is called jecha from Benin. And the main instrument that goes with jecha is bon. For information, jecha is one of the rhythm that we teach at Stony Brook University. And whenever I got the chance, I will show you what the main instrument looks like. Otherwise, I will say, later we'll go into depth as far as the rhythm is concerned. So just let's perform it so that you enjoy it. Let's go. Hey guys, the song that we're gonna perform now is called Wa Wa Wa, and the story in the song is about you reap whatever you sow. Then the rhythm that is behind it, the orchestration is called actually Bourrian in Benin, and that rhythm originated from Brazil. So let's go into it.
tambores, ó nega. Viver somente do cartaz não chega. Põe as pastoras na avenida. Mangueira querida, mangueira.
Onde é que estão os tambores, ó nega? Viver somente do cartaz não chega. Põe as pastoras na avenida. Antigamente havia grande escola e meus sambas de cartola, sucesso de mangueira. Mas hoje o silêncio é profundo e por nada neste mundo eu consigo ouvir mangueira. Antigamente havia grande escola, vinham sambas de cartola, sucesso de mangueira. Mas hoje o silêncio é profundo e por nada neste mundo eu consigo ouvir mangueira.
Mangueira, minha mangueira.
Onde é que estão os tambores?
Onde é que estão os tambores, ó nega? Viver somente.
Põe as pastoras na mangueira querida.
Mangueira, minha mangueira.
Onde é que estão os tambores, ó nega? Viver somente no cartaz não chega. Põe as pastoras na
Ai, 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 We come back with a great samba from Brazil and the guys from Benin with us in Gainesville, Florida and in New York. Mais que nada, Jorge Benjor, samba carioca com swing africano. Vamos nessa! Not you guys. Okay.
Wow.
It's
That's
done.
my
You guys
sister's
are
watching.
live.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. We look forward to your questions. Please put them in the chat on YouTube, and we will make sure that they get to the right person. In the meantime, while you're generating your questions, we'd like to just briefly introduce those of us who are here at the table. Do you want to start, Welson?
Yes, I'm Welson Tremura. I work with Jacaré Brazil, and we have, as you've seen, there's actually, we'd like to introduce people behind me here. Not sure if you can see all of them. You guys want to say your names a little loud?
Hello, my name is Maria.
Brian.
Brianna.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Kendrick.
Kenneth Smith.
Brazil, who you just saw perform. I'm Sarah Politz. You heard from me before, Assistant Professor of Ethnomusicology.
And I am Augusto Soledade. I am originally from Brazil, Bahia more specifically, and I also teach here at the University of Florida in the School of Theater and Dance.
And I'm Holly Tomlin. I'm a PhD student in ethnomusicology at the University of Florida.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So please feel free to put your questions in the chat. I think we've had one or two already. We're happy to talk about the process of putting this project together, or we can direct questions to JB is up in Brooklyn, ready to answer any questions from the Jomion perspective. But maybe, Augusto, you'd like to start us off?
Yes, I would. I do have a question, JB, for you, because, as from the perspective of an Afro-Brazilian, Africa and everything African, many times it's really seen through a very romantic perspective, right? Because this is a place that we feel we came from, our roots. What kind of place would you imagine Brazil would be for you? If you think that this is a place where some of your kin, might be there, right? Some of your, ancestors, or a little branch of those ancestors may be in this other place, this other area. How does that fuel your imagination? What kind of place do you envision? Brazil. I mean, I'm assuming you've never been to Brazil. Have you been to Brazil?
No. No, I haven't been. And as a matter of fact, when I was chatting with Sarah some days ago, and she was like, oh, when Professor Wilson listened to the percussion that you guys played, he was like, I gotta go to Benin. And I'm like, oh, wow, I gotta go to Brazil too.
Well, and let me explain why I have this question for you. It's because the place in Bahia where I was born and raised is in the what we call now the historic center. Okay, and there is an entire house that is dedicated to Benin. It's called Benin's house, and that's where like the embassy, the Benin embassy is, and we get a little bit of that culture. So I know that the connection is very strong, but for me, being from the diaspora, it's easy for me to have this romanticized idea and say like my roots are in Africa, but for you as an African and knowing that you have this other kind of a connection, I'm interested to know how you feel about it, how this imaginary place of diaspora would really be for you.
This is a really, challenging question because
actually, I'm sorry we started.
Yeah, it challenges my imagination. And actually, when it comes to questions like this, I'm like, well, first of all, I've never been in Brazil, but I know that there is, as you said, there is, and there should be something there that I will feel that connection with. Now, talking about, how I envision that place to be, I'm like, as I'm closing my eyes, I can say, it feels like home. Feels like I'm in Benin. though I'm in Brooklyn here, missing Benin, when I go to that place, I will feel like I was in Benin. And I didn't know that they have such a place over there, named Benin. So suddenly I'm like, wow, I would love to go there and visit that place. And whenever I go there, what I want to do is exactly play with people, talk with them, and feel that connection that I'm gonna feel when I get home in Benin, in Cotonou. And as this question came to me, I'm like, I can't wait to visit that place.
Thank you for that. I mean, I really appreciate your answer, and I feel it's so right on. I believe that, home, or that sense of home is very much what you're going to find. I really believe that. I can just, hearing the music that you produced and hearing you talk, I can really just see how once you get there, and of course, with me coming from Bahia, right, I can just totally believe that you will definitely feel that you are home, for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Should we see if we have any questions in the chat? I know we had one recently. Maybe there's one further back. Which one should we take?
So we had a question about some of the rhythms that we heard this evening. So could you perhaps elaborate on maybe one or the two that we heard this evening and talk about how they connect between Benin and Brazil specifically?
Okay, especially I would say the last piece that the piece on which we collaborated. On that piece, what we were playing to fit into that piece was bossuhoho. Now, bossuhoho, the name bossuhoho is actually the name that Jomion gave to the rhythm that we were playing. Otherwise, we'll say is akohun. Originally, it is akohun. But we feel that connection between the bossa nova and the akohun. Okay, so if you take akohun and you take bossa nova together, they are so easy to blend into each other. Okay, so that was what I was talking about when we were performing IE, which is one. I think it was before the second piece that we performed. Especially when it gets to the end of the piece, if I can call it, the livelihood of the song, that energy that is there goes right there with bossa nova. Yeah. So that was the connection that we were making, because we were like, okay, you guys are gonna be playing something, we can't just jump in and play anything on top of it. Music doesn't work that way. We need to get something that goes with it. And that was the rhythm that really, get into it. Yeah. And I'm sure that, if we go back into, through history, I'm pretty sure that, that rhythm will have something to do with slaves. I don't know, but I can tell you there is something there that I can't really prove to you, but it is a matter of feeling. Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to.
Please.
Yes, thank you. So when you were playing that rhythm, and I wanted to understand that I'm coming from the perspective of a dancer. This is my background, right? I'm not a musician, or I create music through my body, moving in space and time. But as I was listening to that specific rhythm that you're just talking about now, it caught my attention, and I mentioned that to Welson, and maybe Welson,
I would like to add to that, yes.
Get into this conversation, because it reminded me of a rhythm that we call in Bahia specifically samba de caboclo.
Yeah.
Which is a samba rhythm that is used in religious ceremonies.
Yes.
But they are used in religious ceremonies to celebrate the native Brazilians. Caboclos, is a term that refers to the mixing, of Africans and native Brazilians.
Yes.
And within the religious structure of Candomblé specifically, there is this rhythm that to me sounds just like what you were playing. And Welson,
I would like to add something what Augusto is saying here. For us Brazilians, when we play that music on percussion, on guitar, I hear a lot the way you say when you do. So this pattern is present in many styles of Brazilian music. For most Brazilians, when they think of bossa nova, Brazilians have a tendency to think of bossa nova something more laid back or slower. So when we hear your bossuhoho,
bossuhoho.
Bossuhoho, for us it's more like a samba de caboclo, like Augusto was saying. So for us Brazilians, we hear that, even there's a famous composer in Brazil that we played a song by him tonight, Pixinguinha, that he has a lundu, which is the early form of Brazilian music. He said, aqui quando tereno pelo adia faz inveja pra gente que não tem mulher. Aqui quando tereno pelo adia faz inveja. So this kind of rhythm is present in Brazilian popular music. So when I play that on the guitar, when the people are singing here, the singers and everybody, I can hear that your rhythm kind of inside the music. So rhythmically, your music really enhances or adds another element that sometimes we don't hear in Brazil, because Brazilians have kind of shaped the rhythm in a different way and mixed. Because in Brazil, people mix everything. Our food is mixed. Everything is mixed. And so we lose sense where it's coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I could follow up and just ask a little bit more about bossuhoho, or akonhu, as it would be called before you renamed it. So bossuhoho, your brother Jean told me this morning that means old bossa. Instead of bossa nova, which is new bossa, bossuhoho is old bossa. But tell me about how old it is. Where does akonhu come from? And what is it played for in Benin?
Okay. First of all, I want to make to clarify something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, it's not akonhu, it's akohun.
I got the tones wrong.
I know.
But set the record straight. Do it.
Yes, akonhu is from the Fon community. Akohun is from the Egun community.
Very important difference.
Very important. And they are really, really, really different, So akohun is that rhythm that we play to celebrate twins. Okay? It is, especially in those days, it was the rhythm that was played to go through the naming ceremony of twins. Okay? And we play the rhythm and we kind of sing the akko. The akko is, in a certain way, calling the names, kind of, we are praising somebody. When I say mla kotui, ndwa kotui na mlawe. Ninja mla kotuio. Ako means family. To mla, you understand what I'm saying? To mla is kind of calling, praising your family. And when it comes to that, it is a long poem that goes along with the rhythm. So, in short, akohun is the rhythm that is performed during the naming ceremony of twins. So, when we took that akohun, or when Jomion took the akohun, and he's like, oh, this sounds and feels like another rhythm from Brazil. He's like, wow, it seems like these two rhythms are like twins. Exactly like the way the rhythm goes into the naming ceremony of twins. So that's how he's like, okay, we have bossa nova over there. Bossa nova, the new bossa. So here, we should have the bossuhoho. And as a matter of fact, bossa and bossu in our language are twins' name. When you say somebody, his name is Bossa, you know that, okay, he has a brother, or he has a twin brother whose name should be Bossu. So, in some way, there is that sense that is made when it comes to the names, and he's like, oh, what is going on here? This shouldn't just be by accident. So that's where he decided to name the akonhun, which we were playing, bossuhoho, because he believes that the bossuhoho actually was left by his brother Bossa Nova, who went in Brazil during the slavery. And he's like, the day Bossa Nova and bossuhoho will meet, it will be the return of that slave, a twin brother that went into Brazil, meeting with his brother that he left in Benin. And that will be a big feast. Yeah. So that's where the whole thing is coming from.
I have to say, you see, I'm so glad that we started this conversation with imagination, because what you're just telling me has so much imagination to it, and creates so much connection, and really, you know, gives us that sense of kins and twins and brothers and sisters, and really amazing. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Can we take another question from the chat, maybe?
Sure. We had a couple people asking about the collaboration itself. So would anyone like to talk about just how you went about that process, what that experience was like trying to do this, you know, from far distances and that kind of thing?
Yeah, the collaboration itself was, in a way, was very much natural to me, because when I met JP there, we immediately could hear the sounds that we could communicate. So my question was, what kind of repertoire do I need to provoke in order to make that happen, we play together? So the collaboration was engaging all these people here behind me to learn the songs and to get engaged in the music. We had a very short time because of the situation, wearing all those masks all the time. So it was very challenging for us to do that. But the collaboration was the willingness that we had to put together and to be creative enough to come out with some ideas of percussion with Kenneth, putting together the percussionist, working on the lyrics, working on the words in Portuguese, and also learning some words like bokelele, from them. So it was really a true open space for us. I actually brought the music here so people could see the lyrics or could see the score. So it's a mix of learning the score, memorizing the sounds, etc.
I will say, so we started at the beginning of this semester rehearsing, coming up with ideas about what songs we could play together. It's very challenging to make music in this environment. It demands, I'm going to go back to the word that was, just part of the last exchange. It demands so much imagination to do this work in this time because, we didn't get to see it all come together until very recently, to see the videos of our own performances cut against those in New York, and to see exactly where things line up and where they miss each other. So the process of actually putting it together it involved, I think, a huge act of collective imagination to sort of be like, what could it be? What could we create together, even when we don't have that constant feedback of being in the same space and, oh, let's try this out and here's what it sounds like and and here, let's try this, and now I can feel it and move to it immediately. This was so mediated, right? This was so extra steps, extra things to learn. And we learned so much, I think, doing this, all of us, from, this side to the other side. I think musicians, engineers, people leading it. Very, very educational experience, but so complex.
Yeah.
So complex.
And we not plan to do like that. The whole idea is for you guys to be down here, so we would be playing the same stage, not the separate stages. But again, this might happen as soon as we have a better,
Yeah, the original idea was to have Jomion and the Uklos come to campus and do a collective performance that way, which I still hope will be possible at some point. But we did have to make a decision around, November, December. Are we going to do an event, and what will it look like, right? We talked about that a lot together, about what this could be. And we decided that, we wanted to do something. It was important to do something. And so we had to be very imaginative.
Yes.
May I add something to it?
Of course.
Yes.
I just want to use this occasion to say thank you to all the people that are behind you involved in this project. Seriously, I was just, blown away when I was hearing the whole thing of them singing Agbokelele. And I'm like, wow, they were able to just, blend into that. I'm really grateful to help you guys on the project. I also want to thank the sound engineer over there, communicating all the time and every time all time with Nico and his collaborator here. Seriously, without that imagination and that commitment, I don't think that we would have been, here, talking now. So thank to everybody, and I believe that we're still gonna do this in person, because that was the original, idea, and it's still standing. Thank you.
Absolutely. I wonder if any of the band members back here would like to say a word about what the experience of doing this recording was like. I think you can just speak from wherever you are if anybody would want to say anything.
How was it for the vocalist learning this new song? How different was it for you, or have you had experience with any of this kind of music before, or these kind of rhythms, and how was that for you all? Was it very foreign? Was it very comfortable? Was it easy?
I can start. I think it was definitely, at first we were so amazed by the rhythms and the beats and the music. We had, most of us, not experienced it before, and we thought it was gonna be, it was a challenge. But with the help of everyone here, it was an amazing experience and an honor to be able to sing this music and to learn the words. And it was just truly very satisfying to be able to come together and actually see it now.
A lot of repetition when I was learning the lyrics, just singing it to myself while I'm riding my bike home, just over and over and over again, because it's not a language I've ever sung in before. It's something that wasn't quite familiar, but it was. I loved it. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for sharing that with us.
Great.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Yes. Yes.
I know we have had other questions in the chat. Do we want to pick one out?
Sure. So we had one question focusing really on the racial inequalities and injustices experienced specifically by Afro-Brazilians, and talking about how that has really been just made more difficult by the pandemic. And so what exactly do you see the role of Brazilian popular music playing in maybe the recovery, or how has music changed within Benin or Brazil during the pandemic addressing these types of issues?
Great question.
Quer falar, Augusto?
Yeah, except that my perspective is not going to be, so much in terms of the music. But I think what the pandemic has done is has really shown that the situation for Afro-Brazilians has not really changed when it comes to being a marginalized group. So the marginalization is still very much present, and the pandemic made it just, heightened that absolutely. That's what I would say. At the same time, I believe us to be very resilient people, and so as always, finding ourselves in that position, there is a constant sense of strategy and ways that we need to find, to move around that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this, but I don't want that to be perceived as a justification for what's happening, or because the reality is that we are dying more than other groups, than other ethnic groups, and I'm talking about the Afro-Brazilians, I'm talking about the native Brazilians. We simply are dying because we are more susceptible to these pressures and oppressions. So yeah, I don't think when it comes to that it has changed much. That's how I would respond to that. How is that for you in Benin, JB? How do you feel that the pandemic has affected you all and the music?
Yeah, the pandemic has really, it's not good. It's not good. Knowing that, in that warmth of community, we are really used to being close to each other. It's not like here where you have to keep a distance from a private space for one another. Back home, we are really, close to each other. And I can say that, despite the whole thing going on, like the oppression, which started, long time ago, but still has a new form of, still going on. It is through that sense of community that we are living. It is by that sense of community, that sense of togetherness that we are, living. But COVID came in and broke that link that we were hanging on. So it is really difficult. It is really, really difficult for people to really respect that, knowing that, okay, it is for the safetyness, but yeah. So what I can say is that back home, yeah, we are trying to work it out. The other side is that we really trust into our herbs, and that's what most of our people are using to fight the COVID. And it works. I'm telling you, it works. It works really well. So that's the way we can really, survive through this, and we are doing all that we can to survive. Unfortunately, that's the reality. Yeah.
And
The music, everything, it's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
And I was going to say that I feel we have inherited that sense of resilience and resistance from you all. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, also, I speak with musicians in Brazil in a weekly basis, and they are suffering so much comes from all social classes, from all colors of people, they are really waiting for this to be over in order for them to go back to their art and perform again. So this has been very difficult. I have two or three major percussionists that I know that have been calling me, say, hey, it's been so difficult for them, very difficult times. Yeah.
It's really difficult not to have those connections. I mean, we try to find other ways to make them, but it's not the same as feeling it and being in the same space. We know. We feel the loss.
On a positive note, what we did tonight was remarkable to me in order to be able to bring the ensemble to listen to your beautiful rhythms, to your beautiful music, to your fancy bossuhoho chords and mix
Thank you.
with our samba music to create this higher energy, because every time I hear us playing together, there's so much positive energy, so much love and joy for what we do, and I think that's what music is all about. It's not about us, but about the music that we create. Yeah.
I have a last question. JB, I know you brought a drum for us that wasn't available for the recording because it was out of commission. So would you like to talk to us a little bit about the bon that you have behind you there? And which rhythm we would usually hear it in? Okay.
This is bon, which is the lead drum of Jecha, which is the rhythm that was behind the Agbokelele song, on which I had the privilege to hear the brilliant choir behind you. So this is the lead drum, actually. So it happens that we couldn't play it while we were recording it. I just got this bon from Cotonou a couple of days ago, and it happens that the weather here is not kind onto the skin that I have. So yes, quickly, this is a bon. It's like a kind of talking drum. You have the skin here, but this side is open. Okay, it's open, and you use the string to tune the percussion, and also to change the I would say that's what I can say about it. Yeah.
Great.
I guess. So with no further questions, I guess this has been a very productive night to all of us. People watching from home, I hope you have enjoyed as much as we had. And I hope to see everyone back again on our next performance.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Thank you so much to all the musicians, all the student musicians. Thank you so much to our tech crew on both sides. Thank you so much to, faculty colleagues and student colleagues for putting this together. And thank you to Jomion and the Uklos in Brooklyn for such a beautiful collaboration. So good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Boa noite, bonsoir.
Me dog bear.
Me dog bear.
Okay.
Bye-bye.